Hello everyone, my name is Kevin and welcome back to the channel. Now, I said this is going to come out before I went to work today. It ended up not because I was feeling kind of down, my stomach was a little upset at the start of the day. I felt like crap. Hell, I didn't want to go to work. I woke up to like my last alarm for work. I was like, fuck, now I have to get up. And got up and started getting ready for work. And I felt like crap most of the day. I did plan on recording this before I went to work and I didn't get a chance. So I'm recording it now at the end of the night. So here it is, part 4 of the TLC 2018 review. The final match. One match. This is the only match that's going to be on this part of the review. One fucking match. And it is the final match, match number 12, the SmackDown Women's Championship Triple Threat TLC match between Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch. ABC, if you will. I predicted Becky to retain. Honestly, this deserved to be the main event. The three of them main eventing this. That also means Becky Lynch has done something that AJ Styles didn't do as he was champion. Main event to pay-per-view. Yeah. Also, I meant to mention this in the last few parts of this. Leo Rush, I don't know if I mentioned this during the first part. I think I did. I don't think I did. I meant to. Leo Rush had a squash match on 205 Live against Bayley's fiance. I didn't even know it. I was watching 205 Live on Wednesday. I was like, wait, hold up, pause. That's Bayley's fiance. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, and of course, Leo Rush won. But yeah, this deserves to be the main event. Also, in brand split era, this is the first time SmackDown has main evented a pay-per-view. Since the brand split in 2016 started again, this was the first time that SmackDown has main evented a dual-branded pay-per-view. Obviously, they main evented the SmackDown-only pay-per-views when the brand split first started again, but when they switched to nothing but dual-branded, and when they got to the Big Four in the first year, Raw was always main eventing. Because Raw is seen as the A show, even though most SmackDown is better storytelling and better matches. Had this been when Asuka was undefeated, I would have taken her. I would have had her winning. But since her streak was broken, it could really go any way, especially since she didn't get booked the best after her streak got broken by Charlotte. She got booked kind of crappily, to be honest, losing to Carmella a few times. Yeah. And just honestly, yeah, it was not very good. The three stare at each other. Charlotte and Becky are taunting. Asuka comes out of the gate swinging. She's in the control of the match from the start. Becky starts to fight back against Asuka, hits a Beck exploder, avoids a big boot. She starts going fast and furious. I believe Charlotte hit a headbutt. She takes control, suplex, kip up, and her and Asuka both get ladders. Charlotte shoves the ladder into Asuka as Lynch slides the table in. Charlotte kicks it out of Becky's hands. She sets the table up in the corner as Asuka gets back in. She slams Asuka into the table a few times before kicking her down and choking her on the ropes. Charlotte boots the ladder into Becky as she was trying to set it up. Charlotte sets up a spear but gets caught by a code breaker from Asuka. She moves just out of the way as Becky tries to tip the ladder on her. Asuka taking control again, attacking Becky up top and slams her onto the ladder. Asuka sets up the ladder. She's the only one up right now. She's a little off, but she fixes it. Charlotte gets up and attacks her, slamming her face against the ladder before Asuka pulls her off the ladder as well. Asuka stops her again and gets her in a powerbomb position. Charlotte goes through the table that she set up, and I say goes through. She only went through the bottom of the table, which is kind of a weird situation. That she only went through part of it, like the corner or the bottom edge of it. That's because when you lean a ladder or a table in the corner, you know, it's kind of in a weird position. The bottom of it, so if this is the corner and this is the table, let's say this is the corner and this is the table, this part of it, that was the only thing that broke. It just kind of bent backwards and snapped that part off. And I was like, why are the table breaks in women's matches, unless it's an actual tables match? Even sometimes in actual tables matches, always suck. Either the table doesn't break and they have to try the spot again, or it breaks in the shittiest fucking way possible and it looks weak as hell for a table break. Although this one still looked hard. This still looked like a tough table break, but still. Becky starts to climb, but Asuka drags her down, slamming her to the ground hard. Hip attack, taking her off the apron. Charlotte hits Asuka with a chair because Asuka kind of just stayed there in the ropes, taunting, and then got hit with a chair in the ass. climbs up top for the moonsault, takes down Becky and Asuka. Every time she does the moonsault, it kind of seems like, it's like, what damage is she really doing to her opponents? I'm not trying to be addicted to say that Charlotte's bad at doing moonsaults or that anybody else is bad at taking them, but like every time, it's always her landing in their arms. Always. Like, I get that the business is about trying to, help your fellow coworkers not die and hurt themselves, but like, that moonsault looks like you two are weak, and like Charlotte hits a weak moonsault kind of at the same time, because you're just hitting their arms and they're falling back, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, that's just, yeah. Charlotte goes under the ring, grabs another table after not seeing one under the ring. She sets it up, Becky with a chair unloading on both women, definitely focusing heavily on Asuka. Charlotte kicks it out of her hands and throws her into the barricade and chairs. She sets up the German announce table. She slams Asuka onto it before Becky attacks her with the chair more. Becky grabs a ladder that's outside, the very, very tall ladder, I might add, that's outside, and walks towards Asuka and Charlotte before she sets it up. She grabbed the big ladder. She sets Asuka and Charlotte up on the German announce table before she begins to climb. She's near the top, but only Charlotte gets hit as Asuka rolls away last minute. A lot more F-bombs being dropped by Charlotte, maybe even Becky. She did a leg drop from up there. Like, she sat right on Charlotte's like ribs and chest and stomach. And goddamn, it looked painful. And somehow Charlotte got up for more of this match and some more hard-hitting spots. I'm like, how the fuck are you alive right now, let alone doing the shit you're doing? Asuka gets in the ring, starts to climb. She's climbing slow as Becky gets back up and starts to climb as well. Both women at the top, back and forth strikes. Asuka tries to reach for it, both women not giving an inch as Charlotte comes in with the kendo stick and starts to unload on both of them. Unleashing vicious strikes on Asuka, she kicks her out of the ring and begins to climb, but Asuka got back up and Charlotte heads out of the ring to hit her with it more. Becky with a exploder into a table against the barricade. Asuka unleashes kendo stick shots on Becky. Asuka's honestly lost it, much like Charlotte did back at Survivor Series. Charlotte spears her through the barricade and in the timekeeper's area. She has also lost it. Becky starts to climb the ladder, but she gets brought down by Charlotte again. They face off next to the ladder, back and forth strikes, neither getting a chance to climb, both just focused on destroying each other. Becky sends Charlotte face first in the ladder support. Charlotte somehow still up, though. Becky tackles her down, and they both roll out, going wild on each other. Lots of chops by Charlotte. Charlotte picks Becky up to set her on the table. She bitch slaps her after saying the man always bows down to the queen. Charlotte goes up top, tipping the broken table. She flips onto the table, sending Becky crashing through it. I probably should have chosen Asuka. I didn't think they would kill each other in this match, or else I would have chosen Asuka. Charlotte back up, begins to climb, but Asuka's back up, fighting on the ladder. Charlotte try and use her height to an advantage. Becky setting up another ladder and begins to climb as Asuka sent crashing down. Becky climbs and Charlotte moves ladders, back and forth strikes. Ronda comes down to the ring. She tips over the ladder that Charlotte and Becky are on, and she leaves. She knocked them both out of the ring, tipping off the ladder, crashing down to the outside. All three are down, but Asuka's the only one in the ring. She climbs. Asuka wins. 9.5 out of 10. 10 and 2 on predictions. I really enjoyed the match. Don't get me wrong. I would have been happy with anybody except Charlotte winning this match. But I'm happy that Asuka won. I love her. She's fantastic. I'm happy Charlotte didn't win. But what pisses me off about this match, okay, it's not that Asuka won. It's not that Becky lost. It's not that it made me not go 11-1 on predictions. I didn't really care about that. The thing that pisses me off is Asuka now looks even weaker because she couldn't get the job done by herself because Ronda had to come out and tip them off the ladder. Fans were booing at the end of the night. Fans were booing. Now, I don't personally know if that's because Asuka won. If it's because Asuka won because Ronda came out and tipped the ladder, knocking Becky and Charlotte out. Or if it's just because Becky lost. Honestly, for me, what pissed me off a lot was that Ronda had to help Asuka. Because after she got her streak broken at Mania, what happened? Asuka was made basically to look like a fucking jobber for most of the time. And now she actually wins the championship, but because somebody else came out and helped her. And that's personally what I have a big issue with. Is that Ronda came down to the ring and helped her. Fuck, Ronda could have came down into the ring and beat the shit out of Becky and Charlotte post-match. She could have done whatever the fuck she wanted. But she had to get involved, and it tainted Asuka's victory for me. I loved the match. It was fantastic. Again, the finish is kind of what put me off of the match, much like the WWE Championship match. And yeah, congrats to Asuka though, because she definitely fucking deserves it. And yeah, at least Charlotte didn't win. Hope you guys have enjoyed. That's how I did on TLC. I will see you guys next month for, I think NXT UK is having a takeover of Blackpool. Then there's takeover Phoenix, and then the Rumble, and then next month, the month after that, I think it's Fastlane, and then March is I don't remember what the fuck March is. And then obviously April we'll have Mania and takeover New York or Jersey. Sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay golden. Peace.